This video is for automotive users, for classic cars and such like that. If you got anything that's basically before the 1990s or otherwise that's basically classic, listen to this. So I got a little problem with my car. Turn signals both gave out. But here's the catch. It's not like the dash bulbs just burn out or the tail lights burn out. The whole turn signal system has stopped working entirely. No flashing, no light ups, no nothing. Not even a single tick out of the turn relay. Weird, huh? But let's get to the chase. There are probably 3 components, and mind you, I'm no expert on these cars, but from what I learned, 3 things. You got a turn signal relay up under the dash here. It's about midway under what would be this here ashtray panel. You find it, you'll find this wire with this component. This is your turn relay fuse. And this plugs up into here. This is the thing that gives you the ticking notion and allows your turn signal to function, besides turn signals which. I'll get to that later. This, when it malfunctions, will cause turn signals to just freeze and lock. So when you turn on your turn signals with this not working, this little doohickey here, what will happen is you'll have it light up, but it'll light up like a brake light and just stay solid. Won't do any blinking. And you got your fuse box right over here. For Chevy cars, it's along the firewall. I'm not a big expert on all the GM cars, Ford, Buick, Cadillac, you name it. But you see the one there? It says direction signal, or dir.sig. That's your direction signal fuse. If that ain't working, or you got that snapped, of course, you're probably not going to get much any good out of it. Maybe it'll work for a short time and burn out or something. Whatever the case be with that. Like I said, not an expert. Then up here in the dash, got your usual turn signal, you just left or right. And I'm going to show you something interesting. I got here with me what is called a test light. You rig it up to a ground point. You turn your ignition on. And then come back over. First thing you're going to do is pull out the relay. And you're going to test the power end. And if it lights up on here, which it has, you're getting power to your relay. So that means your relay is working, or at least the relay connection pigtail is working. I'm not sure exactly the technical name for it, but let's just call it pigtail for now. And you got your fuse box. So let's test that. Bring the test light in. I'm going to put it over this directional signal on one end or the other, and look at that, it's lighting up on direction signal. Try the other side here. And yes, getting a light up from that side too. Now just to be sure it's not just that one, let's test one other. There's one above it, that's F radio, or radio. It's working. Test this one across here, this one called, what's that say? Well, I'd say it says 20A. That's working too, as you can see. Oh. Yep. So, your relay works, and the fuse works. So that leaves one last end to check. And I'll have to get back to you in another video, as I haven't replaced it yet. But when I do, I will be sure to let you know. I have a replacement turn signal switch, which I'm going to show you here real quick. Hold on. Now this is your turn signal switch, or what it looks like from inside the column. Now I know you're thinking, that doesn't look like that little bar looking thing that I always mess around with, playing with the stick. Have a little fun laugh. This little component here runs down to a harness down by the firewall on top of the column, or rather on the side of the column, however it is in whichever car you might be working on. Now, my understanding is usually if one of these stops working or some prong or connection breaks, well, basically, I think you have an idea where I'm going, but let me just say, if this stops working, I'm pretty sure your turn signal altogether stops working. Which means no lights, no nothing. This is the one thing creating a break of power to your back end, and take it from me, I've replaced full tail harness and that sucker still don't work.